Alright guys, I got something pretty cool to show you guys today from a company that I'm really excited about working with this year. And that company is Hughes Performance. And today I'm going to be showing you their dual stage dump valve kit for your power glide transmission. However, they also do a lot of other things, pretty much anything transmission related, converters, everything. So if you guys need anything from them, let me know. I might be able to help you out with that. They're a super nice company to work with, and I've been really happy with their customer service so far, and I can't wait to put this product on a car and put it to work and see if we can make the stock bottom end 4.8 record much quicker than it already is. Alright guys, so as you can see, I have it laid out all on the table exactly how it came. I'm going to give you a little bit of a look at it before I talk a little bit more about it. So anyways, you can see it's a super complete kit. I have seen other kits. As you can see, it is a two-stage kit for a power glide. I have seen other kits or other dump valve setups, or other people claiming that they've done it much cheaper, and that may be true, but part of doing that is having to make all these lines on your own and figure out how long you need all these to be, and it's just a lot more work. And I don't believe there are other kits that are quite as complete as this. This one, as you can see, is super complete, even coming with all the gaskets and everything else, and a super complete instruction book. As you'll see here, it's actually a 22-page instruction book, and it is full of really nice color pictures like this, showing you each step. I'm not going to show you all of that, but it's super complete and very easy to install. I plan on installing it myself, and I have not really done anything with transmissions, so that should explain that. But anyways, here is what it looks like when it comes. It comes with the bracket for mounting, all the fittings that you'll need, all the lines that you'll need already pre-made to the right size. And of course these solenoids, you just have to wire those in, of course, however you want to run those. You have quite a few options with that, but we'll talk more about that in just a second. Alright guys, before I give this basic rundown of how a dump valve works and how I plan on using it with my car, I would like to let you know that Hughes Performance actually has some really helpful videos on their YouTube channel that you can go check out. We'll link it below, and I will link to one of their dump valve videos, so they'll go a lot more in depth if you want to learn more after this video. But basically what it will do is it will loosen the converter when it's activated. The single stage and the dual stage both basically do the same thing. It's just the dual stage can dump a little bit more and loosen it up a little bit more, so that's why I went with that, so I can have as much control as possible. Speaking of control, you can control the dump valves in many different ways. One of the most common ways is to use your ECU. So for example, I have a Holley Dominator. That's what I plan on using, and I will have it to where I can control each one individually, and I will be able to pulse width modulate them and just have as much control as possible, so I can do whatever I want with it. So anyways, the most common use for a dump valve is to loosen the converter while you're trying to spool a turbo. It's pretty common to have really big turbos on fairly small motors now, so one of the issues you can run into whenever you're doing that is the converter can be too tight to get the turbo spooled up quickly, but if you get a looser converter to where it'll spool up quickly, then it can be too loose going down track and you'll lose performance because of that. But I plan on using mine not only to help spool, but down the track to keep the RPM higher. As you guys know from my older videos, one of the most common things, or one of the best ways to keep a stock bottom end motor alive is by keeping the torque down, and one of the best ways to keep the torque down is keeping RPM up higher. So I plan on using the dump valve to loosen the converter up, so I don't get into those lower RPM ranges, but then I still have the converter tight enough whenever it actually is higher up in the gears to not slip too much and lose performance there. So I'm really excited to actually put this to use, and I can't wait to see how much we can loosen it up and see if we can get it just right. I plan to keep the engine over 7,000 RPM down the entire track, so that is pretty high, but as you guys know, I do spin this 4.8 pretty high RPM, and that's one of the things that really keeps it alive in my opinion. So you'll see by this data overview video here, the RPM drops fairly low on the shift, and not only that, but whenever I leave the line and I am bringing all the boost in trying to get the car to 60 foot, the converter doesn't flash very high, and I am in a pretty dangerous area to be adding a bunch of power. So it's kind of a hard balancing act, you know, keeping power down at lower RPM but also having enough power to get it to 60 foot. So I think the dump valve will be very beneficial for my combination, and if you think it might be beneficial for your combination too, feel free to send me a message. I can definitely help you guys out on getting one or anything else from Hughes. So anyways, super excited to be working with them, and can't wait to show you guys some more and get this thing installed. Alright guys, as you can see, I am under the car right now. I just had to put in these bolts into the cross member. I actually had to order these bolts because they are a specific like thread pitch or whatever from Ford. So I got those put in, and now everything is at the right angle with this and the mid plate installed, that I can go ahead and grind down on the motor plate to get it at the right height to line up with the bolts on the motor and everything, and then we'll be good to go on that. And also, while I'm under here, I want to show you, you may have seen in one of the earlier videos, but this is definitely the nicest part of the whole car, is a Marty Marilat Fab 9-inch. Super nice rear end. It's all chromoly, and as you can see, they just clear coat over instead of painting it, so you can see all the nice welds and everything. So really, really cool piece. And you also see the third member, strange ultra case. I have a 411 gear in it right now. Way overkill on the rear end for this little motor here, but yeah, I will go ahead and get this motor plate finished up, and then we'll be pretty much ready to take it to get the turbo kit fabbed up. So making progress. Another cool piece that showed up that I wanted to show you guys is my Edelbrock ProFlow intake, and as you can see, I got another set of rails and injector bungs put on here, and these are actually Bosch 210s that I originally used, and I also ended up changing the lower rails to the 417 Motorsports rails. Much nicer piece than the Edelbrock ones were. The Edelbrock ones actually now come with 8AN, but originally whenever I got this one, they weren't 8AN, they were like NPT or something like that, and the fittings kind of sucked. It was just kind of annoying. And they also like leaked a little bit if the injector wasn't just in the right spot. So I went ahead and got these, and then I will get another set of 210s that have the these are actually like the LS3 style connector or whatever. I think it's EV6 or EV14, whatever. And the I'm going to get another set that are LS1 style, so they're a little bit taller and they have a different connector, because actually whenever I got my Holly, I had extra injector harness, because the injector harness that came with it was the LS1 style, and I had to get the LS3 style for these, which I was already running before. So can't wait to put this on. It should have plenty of fuel, should be enough fuel for just over 2,000 horsepower, I believe, and I'm definitely not going to be anywhere near that for a while. And also you can see the good old eBay throttle body, G plus 92 millimeter. One thing about these eBay throttle bodies is you definitely want to red Loctite these screws if they aren't already, because sometimes they come and they're not Loctited in there, and they'll come loose and go in your motor and it'll eat it. And also it looks like shipping definitely tore this little throttle body up a little bit, but that's alright, I don't really care. So yeah, anyways, Chris Stewart is actually the one that did this. He did a super nice job, as you can see. Super happy with it. It also has you know, mounts back there to where it can screw in, so super sturdy. You can you know, pick it up from these. So he did a great job, and yeah, I can't wait to put this to use. Alright guys, so I got the motor plate all ground down, as you can kind of tell there. So now it fits over the bars and is the proper height in order to get this at the right angle. It's right around 3 degrees or just over, which should be right where it needs to be. I got that side all down too, and you can see it is it bolts on with the water pump bolts. If you have an aluminum block, they have holes here and here, or also the LSX block, I believe. But this one I've got to actually drill this hole now, which is what I'm about to do, so this fuel pump mount can stay up there. And I got it all marked and everything already, so now I will go ahead and get to drilling. Alright guys, so I kind of skipped a few steps here. I didn't film all of it, my bad on that. Not too interesting stuff though, just getting the car ready to drop it off. Actually, this weekend I'm going to Amarillo to test with Brendan, and I'm also going to take the trailer there with the car, and I am going to go ahead and hand it over to them and let them take it back to Pampa, and they'll get started on doing all the fabrication work. If there's not good video of the fabrication work, then it is 100% Brendan Dickinson's fault. So if you know, you guys don't see very good at that, just hit him up and blame him. It's all his fault. So anyways, I'll show you guys what I've got done and what I'm about to do. So as you can see, I got this drilled, and I believe I videoed some of the drilling, not the tapping. Didn't do the greatest job. It's not perfect, but it works and it holds the fuel pump. That's all that matters. It's not really a structural thing. And also you can see over here that I have the alternator mount. I do not have the alternator at the moment, but it will go, the top part of it will bolt on here and the bottom down on this lower bolt. It should hold it pretty close to the block here, so it'll keep it out of the way of the header. The header does just barely touch right here, but I'm pretty sure that we can just heat that up and bend it in a little bit. It should be fine. And also I ended up heating this up and bending this up a little bit so it fits over the motor plate, so I didn't have to do anything crazy there. And I also already have these all loosened up. I'm going to go ahead and take off this little lifting plate and swap it out for my ICT billet valley cover that I got. So I will do that real quick, and then I'll go ahead and throw the intake on there, and we'll be a little bit closer to getting it done. And as you can see, I still have the turbo sitting over here. I'm going to take it off and put it back in the box, but as I've said in another video, it is not actually going to end up mounted right there. It's going to end up mounted right in the center right here. Yeah, and we're also going to get the bumper mounted while it's over there, and all that fun stuff. So should be a lot of progress made over there, and then it'll come back here, and I'll pretty much just have the finishing touches, you know, all the plumbing and stuff, water lines, fuel lines, transmission lines, all that fun stuff. So anyways, we're making progress. I'll go ahead and update you guys after it's about ready to go on the trailer. All right, we're just about ready to go. As you can see, I got the nice ICT billet valley cover, because you know, I really like to keep my things nice, so I wanted that to match the rest of the engine, you know. Don't want any nasty looking stuff on there, so went ahead and got that. But the real reason that I got it is because as you can see, there is no knock sensor or provisions in it, and on the stock one there was, and I didn't have knock sensors in it, so these holes were just somewhat open, and as you can see, I had a rag in that one, which was actually in the front, but it never really ended up putting oil out of them, but it probably would if it tried to pressurize the crankcase too much for any reason. So I decided to go ahead and swap to that, so I wouldn't run into that issue. And then also you can see I have the headers on there. These are just the Holley Flowtech headers. They're going to be modified a little bit. As you can see here, this is 3-inch. I believe they're 1 3/4 primaries. But yeah, the 3-inch is definitely going to be too big. It will slow down the airflow going into the turbo, and you need some velocity for that exhaust gases in order to help spool the turbo. So these will be necked down to probably 2.5 inch or maybe 2 1/4. And also you can see where I mentioned where it just barely hits right there, and I don't even know if it's really enough to pull the header off of the flange any. It looks like it's pretty flat, but we'll probably go ahead and just heat that up a little bit and tap it in with a hammer a little bit. But yeah, also got the intake on, as you can see, and these nice, super nice fuel rails, the 417 ones below, of course, and the ones that I had Chris Stewart put on up top, and even figured out, since I took these off in order to bolt the intake on, that these are actually the same size Allen key right here. So that's nice, you know, little things like that. And also another thing that a lot of people mentioned me doing, or tried to get me to do, was take off the little extension for this oil cap. I finally ended up doing that, just because it was in the way of this bolt, not because I actually care what it looks like. But yeah, so now maybe people won't be upset about that being so ugly anymore. But yeah, just about ready to load it in the trailer. Just going to go ahead and throw the fenders on it and all that stuff, and put the door back on it, and put all the rest of the parts inside, and we'll be good to go. Alright guys, so as you can see, I am all sweaty and nasty and look like a homeless 14-year-old right now. But I got the car pretty much ready to go. I just need to put it in the trailer tomorrow in the morning. So it's like 2:30 in the morning right now. So I'm gonna clean up and get a little bit of sleep, and then we'll head to Amarillo tomorrow. So anyways, the car looks pretty sweet with the fenders and all that on. It sits super low. I forgot how low it sits when it's been on the lift forever. Yeah, it's really low, which looks really cool, but might be kind of annoying whenever I'm trying to load it in the trailer and all that, but we'll find out. I just have this rag thrown in there right now because the fender is not completely bolted up. There's just 2 bolts in it, so it I just want to make sure it doesn't scratch the door up or anything, or tear up the carbon fiber doors. But yeah, I've got everything in there and ready to go. So I got the turbo actually put in the where the passenger seat would be, and all the wastegates and stuff like that I have to go with it. So yeah, also shout out to Logan at Straight Jacket Street Cars. Yeah, that's going to be it for this video, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. I know it kind of jumped around a lot, but make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and do all that stuff, and I'll see you guys in the next video.